The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. No matter what the defense throws at them, they feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Now Daniels. Got his man, it's Warren. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring up second down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up second and 7 at the 47-yard line.
Let's go.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. A solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 12 yards that time, but a Pittsburgh first.
That was pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Throwing now is Daniels. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. Looking for Austin, intercepted. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing, maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He can have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements. Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
Come on, set. Right, 95. Red, yellow. Ready?
Looking to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Just a gain of a couple there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Ready. Yellow, 43. 6, level. Ready.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And this pass broken up. And the contact well on time there. And now 4th down.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
4th down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. The kick by Carlson is good. And that will make this a 9-point lead. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Trap 60, trap 60.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. behind the chain, 2nd and 12.
19 Lions. Cougar 19. Ready.
Here's Daniels. Now he'll tuck this and run. Call it a loss of 16 there. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and very long. So certainly in a pickle here. They have a mile to go to try to pick up the first. We'll see what they've drawn up. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over.
Ready?
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's into the hands of his tight end, Bowers. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half.
Ready up.
2nd down and 3.
Here we go. Cut.
They'll set up to throw. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Nothing open downfield. He had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
Ready. Set.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He's got his target. That's complete. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 17-yard line.
Up the middle they go. Turpin. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter.
33, yellow. Claws red. Set.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He'll try to pick it up himself. The tally there, minus 8 yards. Leads to 4th down as well. And now what's this? They fake the spike. He'll throw it. And that's going to be caught. How about that one? They fake the spike, and it winds up a touchdown. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And a pretty poor kick here. It doesn't make it to the landing zone. And that means he'll move the ball out to the 40-yard line.
Get it.
A handoff for Warren. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start calling back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Out to the flat here for Johnson. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Step 2. Just the Eagles.
Daniels looking to throw. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. That's caught. It's Austin left side. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 37-yard line. To the air goes Daniels. This is Smith with a grab. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Jonnu Smith, 36 yards. And the Steelers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. And now the Steeler offense staying out there, and they'll go for 2.
Let's go now.
They're going to try and run. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And the offense is able to pounce on it inside the 5-yard line. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Right. Come on, set. 10 block, red, cycle. Hut.
They'll look to throw. Short throw caught by Bowers. And he will cover up as he's touched down after a short gain.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Here we go, set. Black, 95, blue striker. Set.
Now back to throw. Short throw caught by Bowers. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
10 yards on the pickup. It's second and
Ready.
at the 37-yard line.
Now a handoff up the middle. Turpin. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher third down looming. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. They're going to look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 24-yard line.
A gain of 16 yards. And the Las Vegas first
Here we
down.
go. Yellow, 43. Ready.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Then their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. Third quarter action in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, PA.
Ready.
He'll look to throw. Pass right side caught by Thornton. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
That's caught by Tucker. They'll wind up getting just a yard. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stopped him short.
Daniel Carlson set for the Raider field goal. From the left hash, just a 32-yard attempt. Carlson able to put this one through. And that will extend their lead even further. So it was 4th down and 1 in the red zone, but they elect to take just the 3.
And I'm a little bit surprised that that's exactly what they decided to do. I kind of thought that they would go for it in that situation. But sometimes I'm sure you just think to yourself, take the 3 points, put them in your pocket, and move on.
And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trailed. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go. Set. Panthers.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the Steelers' 38-yard line.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Let's go now. Green Jack. Red 30. Black Ultra. Set.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Now a run here off the keep it. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
That is caught. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a two-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for second down.
Wait. Set, ready, set.
They'll look to throw again. And that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
Ready, yep, black, set.
Back to throw again. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Raiders are going to have a first and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Vegas, first down. First and goal at the 3-yard line.
It'll be first and goal when we come back. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal.
Ready.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Only a yard of the completion. It's second and goal.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Second and goal from the 1.
Come on, set. 33, yellow. All right, go. Ready.
He'll try to run this one in. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Ready.
They'll look to throw on third and goal. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Trey Tucker from 3 yards out. And the Raiders are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that, so he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
It's caught, Smith. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 49 yards.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
Go.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked up by Jaquan Brisker. And the Raiders are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. But with the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
He'll come out throwing here on first down. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Patrick Queen charging hard for that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11.
On the double.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. He'll drop to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down. Then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. Now he's loose at the 40. To the 20. Touchdown, Las Vegas. KaVontae Turpin with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Raiders are closing in on a 9th victory on the year as they extend their lead. Carlson on for the PAT. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. From the 33, here's a 2nd down and 4.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Ready.
To throw is Daniels. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling. Carlson now to add the extra point. These have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good.
Steelers 20.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Facing a big fourth-quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Daniels. That's going to be caught by Pickens. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
That one complete down the field to Smith. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A gain there of 30 big ones. And now defensively they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
19 Lions.
Here's Daniels. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
65. Come on. Set. 60 Eagles.
Throwing now is Daniels. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that is caught. And they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
You know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your turkey bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
To the 20-yard line and no further. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, we've reached the stage where it's a mere formality at this point. They've got the comfortable lead. We know what the outcome is going to be. I guess the only question is, do they want to put more points on the board before the final gun?
Well, I certainly hope not. And I'm being selfish here because you and I have flights to catch. Let's go ahead and finish this one off, guys. You've taken care of business. Let's close it out. And you and I, let's get to the airport.
And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Down. Block 40. Smash. Red. Set.
They'll set up to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level. Looks like they're going to keep throwing till the bitter end. This one's long since over, but give them credit. They're going to go down fighting. That one, incomplete.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Warriors, 70.
Daniels looking to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Mitchell. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
To the air goes Daniels.
On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. Well, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
In the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
Jameson Williams,
His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
and the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit.
The Steeler offense staying out there, and they'll go for 2.
60 Vikings, 60 Vikings. Let's go now.
Daniels going to try and throw for it. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it.
That's caught at the 2. And he's going to get into the end zone for 2. And they're back within 2 scores. Down 15 now. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't
All
you?
about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. And this is taken in at the 5. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders.
Trey Tucker
with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns.
And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Carlson on for the PAT. And the lead is now 24. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
their own 24-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, "Coach,
he's got it with the 15. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Jameson Williams, 76 yards. And the Steelers get a bit closer. And now the Steeler offense staying out there, and they'll go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. It's caught at the 1.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
Where they moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
Mega. Blue 32. Right.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Well, this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
They're certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the fourth quarter.
Yellow 43. Green Jack.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Las Vegas, it's a critical win for them as it gets them to 9-6 on the year.